Honestly, I laughed last week on Zoom. We were doing our first Zoom meeting. It was like all the SWAT captains together meeting with Coach. It was hilarious. He was funny. He was in a really good mood. He was trying to figure out the mic. It was hilarious. He's like, I hate this Zoom, but it's something we got to get used to. He couldn't get the mic to work. I had to put my thing on mute, so I was laughing. It was so funny. He couldn't figure it out, but he's good now.
So our next guest is quarterback of the Notre Dame football team, and Ian Book. Ian, I'm curious if you got the spring break in before the world was put on pause.
We did, actually. We got the spring break in, and I was a day away from going back to Notre Dame, and they sent us all home. So we got it in, though. We got one spring practice, and that was it. And then it was time to go back home.
Would you go to Cabo, or where'd you go?
Nah. I went to Vegas for 3 days with all the linemen and everybody, but then I went to Omaha and did some training for about a week. So first half in Vegas, second half in Omaha.
So once you got home, what's the day-to-day life been like with your family at home?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm still getting used to it, trying to find a routine, but just making it as much as I can. But basically, I work out every day. I do some type of running every day, and then I throw Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We got a good little group of guys. Still try to maintain the social distancing, but got a good group of guys in the Sacramento area. We can go out and throw, and it's been working out. I've been finding a routine, and there's just some guys from the area that are going into the draft, some guys that are still in high school, and also some college guys still that get some good work in when we go throw.
And are there family members that you have that are fighting this thing on the front line?
Yeah, actually, my whole family. Mom's a nurse. Dad's retired law enforcement. My brother's current law enforcement. So I would say I'm in the house, trying to maintain, being safe as well. But they're doing a great job. I can't thank them enough. They're out there every day doing it. So,
I mean, what do they come home and say after staring this thing eye to eye all day long?
Yeah, we try not to talk about it that much because they just had a whole day of it, and it's obviously scary. My mom's in the hospital seeing everything going on, so she's doing a good job of, not stressing the whole entire family out, but at the same time letting us know, how crazy of a time it really is. But at the same time, just making sure we're staying safe.
I'm going to be honest, buddy. I don't know that I'd be okay. I feel like if my mom was going into the hospital every day, I would be crapping my pants, to put it very.
She's doing a good job, though. She's washing her hands like crazy. She's not going to bring anything home. She's got us in mind. That's for sure.
And does it seem like she's afraid of this thing, or does it seem like she's just head down and like, you got to give me your mom's? I've talked about your attitude, your game face. Give me your mom's game face. What's she got going on?
She's doing well, but you can tell she's stressing out a little bit. But my dad's doing a good job. Same with my brother. My brother works downtown in the one of the jails downtown. So, they got to check inmates. They got to be careful of who's going in there as well. But he's doing a good job too. Obviously, you got to wear a mask. They're doing all that, washing their hands like crazy.
Yeah. And the possibility, I mean, I've been thinking about the last few days of playing Notre Dame football without fans. I mean, what does that look like inside of your brain? Can you even imagine?
I thought about it yesterday. Somebody brought it up. I can't remember, but I was, someone was like, what do you miss most? Well, running out of the tunnel. And then I thought about running out of the tunnel with no fans. Honestly, though, if that's the way we can play football this season, then I'm not complaining. I can't wait to have my last year of college football, but different, not having 85,000 screaming fans. It wouldn't be the same, but it would feel more like a practice or like a scrimmage or something.
Yeah, and I've been seeing like the Zooms. You're holding Zooms with what they call it the SWAT team. Like what the hell is the SWAT team?
So our team's divided up into, I believe it's 10 SWAT teams with about 10 guys on it. Each SWAT team has a leader. We do like a draft, and we draft guys. You draft a big skill player, a skill player, and a lineman. And basically it's just, you got your guys, it's your team, keep them accountable, especially right now, trying to do everything virtually, just trying to keep everybody accountable, make sure they're doing their workouts, communicating, talking to each other, making sure everybody's safe. And at the same time, like filling out some wellness questionnaires that we need to do every day. And everything's still for points, as you know, with Coach Bayless. We're still competing for points, trying to win. So we were able to win last week. Just got to keep it up. But it's just taking care of those guys, getting close with 10 guys on the team, and trying to compete against everybody else, bring a competitive aspect into it, even though we're all home.
What's the points thing? What's the points process that you got
Everything's
going?
for points. So Coach Bailey's, he's competitive. Everything's for points. Once he got there, basically, there's a point requirement that you need to meet every week. If you don't, you do a workout with Coach Bayless early in the morning. But if you do make it and you win, you get Coach Kelly always says it. Winning teams get good stuff. So you might get a Chipotle gift card or something like that. But if you don't go to class, you lose points. If you don't do your wellness, you lose points. If you get caught on your phone in class, you lose points. If you lift the most weight, if you do the most competitive agility stuff, you're going to get points. So everything is for points. And just telling my team to keep working hard every day so we can win it.
I know you've probably never seen the morning workout routine, but what does he make you? What's he have going on with the early morning if you do screw up?
I haven't had it in a while, but I've had it once or twice. It'll be like Wednesday morning. You'll show up, and it's just your 10 guys on your SWAT team working out with Bayless. It feels like it's one-on-one. And then once that's done, you still do what you had to do the rest of the day, whether you had a team run coming up or another lift, you still do that. So you do a workout with him early in the morning on top of all that. It sucks. Yeah. I remember putting plates over our heads and doing holding a plank forever. Holding planks where like the last guy on the line would have to crawl under the whole entire plank line, and then the last guy keep going and just sweating like crazy at 6 a.m. in the morning. So you don't want to be there,
So as all your teammates, your buddies, getting ready for the NFL draft right now, an NFL draft unlike any other, what's their vibe?
Yeah. So, I've been staying in touch with, two of my roommates are trying to go into the draft right now, Julian Okwara and Jameer Jones, keeping in touch with all of them. And then everyone else on the team with Fink and Chase and Cole. It's a weird time, but they still, they all seem like they're really locked in. It's just going to be a different draft, but at the same time, they've worked so hard for this opportunity and have dreamed about playing the NFL. So, everybody I've talked to has just been really positive. It's going to be a different draft coming up, but they just can't wait to find out where they're going to land.
And they're all back in there. At least Julian was back at Notre Dame. Or the rest of the guys, has everybody ended up back in South Bend?
They were for a little bit. I think people have left now. I know Julian's back home, but they were at one point. I know they were doing like the virtual pro day and stuff like that, so they had to get all that done.
Yeah, and I saw Tommy Reese is putting together these quarterback quizzes for you. What's a quarterback quiz, and how does that go down? Yeah, so another way to just keep everybody accountable, we have 2 a week. He just sends it. We got our iPads. He'll basically have like an ABC question for about 10 questions, and just got to turn it in by the next meeting. And it's just we'll install. So you're allowed to meet 3 times a week. So we'll meet, we'll install, and then we'll have a quiz and all that. So it's good. Just kind of test your mind, just like you would be doing if we were there actually on campus. And my brother, who was teammates with Tommy. So I can remember back to the days. Tommy was like 18, 19 years old. Yeah. And all Zach Martin, all Austin, all those guys used to say is Tommy Reese is going to be a head coach one day. And I'm going, he's a kid. He's an 18-year-old kid. So what qualities is it about this man that makes him such a hit for a quarterback like yourself? Yeah. Well, first I would say just the way he can relate to players. I've said that a lot, like learning from somebody who's done it, 7 years ago or 8 years ago? I don't even know. Like, it makes the biggest difference for me. He's been in the situation. He's been through the pressures. And it's not like he's played quarterback somewhere else. He's been through the same exact pressure that I've been through as a Notre Dame quarterback. And that, to me, he's an outlet. It's someone you can talk to. I go into his office every day. We'll do a meeting about football, and then, bam, we start talking about life or something, like, let's talk about this for a little bit or whatever. I consider him, a best friend of mine, at the same time a coach. He knows how to switch, from being a friend to, all right, it's meeting time, let's learn, here's my coach. He'll get on me, and then 5 seconds later we're fine, so that's just something in a coach that I wouldn't say is normal. I think it's pretty rare. So, and then another one is his memory is unbelievable. He'll call a play or something that he remembers that he ran 6-7 years ago, and it'll be spot on. And he'll say, I remember right hash against Purdue, blah, blah, blah. This was my favorite throw. The Sam took this guy, boom, hit it before the safety. I'm like, what? And then we'll go watch the play. He'll pull it up. The film quality is horrible, but it's perfectly accurate. So it's like crazy. So just knowing that he's super smart. He's taught me everything.
I can't say enough about it. I really can't. The day he got there as the quarterback coach, I've learned everything from him, and to now have him as a coordinator, I hit the jackpot.
Is he going to be calling plays? Have they announced that yet, or what's the situation
He's
with
going to be
play
calling
calling?
plays.
And is that, I assume that's the ultimate for you?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I really am. I'm happy for him, one, just to get that opportunity. I believe he's ready for it. You know, some people were maybe worried. He's so young. I'm not worried at all about that. Yeah, he's ready for it. I think we'll see that when we start playing.
Some of the most successful quarterback play caller combinations that I've ever seen seems to revolve around a play caller that's willing to listen to what the quarterback loves. How much of that is going on between the two of you?
A lot. Before we were on this call right now, I was on a Zoom with him. So, I mean, we were talking about every quarterback is good at their own thing. It's about having a system that can fit that QB well, whatever he does. Coach Reese is unbelievable about that. You know, every coordinator also likes to run the offense their certain way, and that's how it is. But at the same time, whoever's playing quarterback for you, it's about making adjustments to fit what he's good at. So we've talked about that a ton. I believe he knows what my strengths are, and we're going to work around that. And I think just to have someone like that in my corner is going to make a big difference.
You guys are going to kick some ass. I'm excited about that. How about Claypool and Kmet? What's irreplaceable about those two dudes?
Oh, I'm so bummed that they're gone. But, I mean, first with Chase, I was just watching TV copies of games because that's how bored I was for a little bit. I haven't watched a TV copy of a game ever. I watched the whole Georgia game. I watched all on YouTube, right? And just watching Chase go up there and get the 50-50 balls. They're not 50-50. They're like 90-10, you know what I mean? So it's just having someone like that, someone so physical. You know, his run blocking was unbelievable. You know, he'd go down and just absolutely lay out somebody on the full other side of the field when that makes a difference if we were to break a run, you know what I mean? And he was a leader for our receivers, and he was somebody that was just so big and physical and was going to win that battle no matter who it was. That was a huge confident thing for me as a quarterback. Knowing you got a guy out there, it might be 50-50. It didn't even feel like that. So, and it felt the same with Cole. Cole's huge, and just having him being able to run block like he can and go out and he's a freak athlete, just go out there and make some crazy catches. And he was just such a calm leader, you know, not the most talkative guy, but was going out there day in and day out and just getting the job done. He was so fun to play with. I worked really, really hard on trying to get him back, and I didn't win that battle, but I understand why.
How close were you to testing the NFL waters? I know there was some possibility floating around. What went into the thought process?
Yeah. Been a dream of mine forever. Obviously wanted to, but there was a lot of reasons telling me to go back, and I feel really comfortable. I haven't thought twice about it. I think I can I believe myself that I can get better with one more year. Coach Reese is the coordinator, got all the offensive line coming back. That's huge. And I just think I can get better. There's things I can improve on. And then I think I'll be ready for it.
Yeah, and I remember watching that Georgia game, and it just seemed like you guys were the better team. You know what I mean? I'm sure that you feel that same way too. And in the second half, you really started getting Claypool the ball. But in the first, there wasn't so much. Like, is there anything strategy-wise or a moment or a play or something you watching it back go, damn, I wish we would have done more of that?
Yeah, I just watched that game, and I remember, like, having a hard time watching it. We fed Cole the ball a ton in the first half, and it was working. And then we were feeding Chase the ball in the second half. It was working. I don't know if it was like a specific plan, but I just think I think if I change a couple things and play a little better, we win that game. So it was hard to watch. That's what it's about. It's about watching it and learning from it. That was the craziest atmosphere I've ever played in. It was the most fun. I remember just being totally locked in, engaged. Thought we could totally win that game, and we weren't able to come out on top. But I think if I make a couple of changes, which I've watched the film probably 9 times now with Coach Reese, the changes I make, we win that game.
Do those environments ever get normal? Going into a place like that where it's like 90K plus, just freaking madhouse, like, does that ever get more normal, or how does that change as you get older?
Yeah, I think it does. You get used to it for sure, but I don't know about normal. You run out there and you're like, wow, is this what you thought it was going to be like? I'm like, no, this was a sea of red. It was like a disco party at Georgia. They were turning lights off I didn't think you could turn off. I'm trying to warm up. It was crazy. And then, sell out more than they ever have. I think they had like 90K, like you were saying. No, that doesn't really get normal, but that's why you go to Notre Dame, honestly. So I remember walking in there and just totally embracing it and just being excited to be there and really feeling like we could have won that game.
What's the story behind the mustache, man?
So I'm just quarantined right now, getting bored. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's something the linemen do. We do it for camp, even though we're in the spring right now. Everybody grows out facial hair. Some of the linemen just buzz their hair and then grow a beard. You know, I figure I got to be a part of that culture a little bit. And I can't grow a beard. I don't grow in certain areas. You might know how I feel there. But just left the stash for a little bit. But I got my mom on my back right now. And if I'm in her household, she doesn't really like it. So we'll see how long it lasts.
How about video games? You playing anything?
Most video games I've ever played in my life right now.
Me too. What are you playing?
I played some Warzone on PS4. It's just fun to get on the mic with some of my buddies. Maybe every other night just for a little bit. I don't even have a system out in college. I don't have enough time. But right now it's like we play a little bit. It's been really fun.
This is what we call our lockdown lightning round right now.
Okay.
Anybody through the history of time to join your quarantine crew, who would that be and why?
To join the house and just go through the daily routine with me?
Just kicking it with the boys.
I'd probably pick a quarterback, not too surprising. I'd probably pick Baker Mayfield. I don't know how people will feel about that, but I loved watching him in college. And I think, one, he plays video games. That'd be fun. Two, work out, whatever, that'd be good. And then three, just going out there to throw and pick his brain a little bit. I think it'd be fun.
Has he proven to you, because you're not the tallest dude in the world, neither is he. Has he proven to you, who's proven to you that you can still be an NFL top-tier quarterback?
Drew Brees.
He proved it.
Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson. Baker's, he's on his way. He'll do fine. And but Drew Brees, I think personally watching him for myself is the best. Yeah. So watch it. It's motivating. He does everything right. Smart guy. He just does it right. And I think he's shorter than I am. So.
Mm-hmm. I've seen so many of you guys go through it now, from Deshaun, Tommy, Malik, Wimbush, all you guys. So how about one aspect of the attention that comes with being the Notre Dame quarterback that you never realized until it was your job?
Oh, man. I think just the amount of people that care about Notre Dame football. I don't think people understand. I didn't. How many people that really is. If I wear, or you or whoever wears something ND and you go somewhere, somebody's going to say something. And it's awesome. That just shows you what Notre Dame is like. So if I go to the airport or something, I wear an ND hat, somebody's going to say, hey, what's going on? Class A, blah, blah, blah. Man, crazy. I think I was talking to somebody. They went to Japan, wore an ND hat. Boom, somebody right there. It's like it's all over, and just that many people, even if it's not football, but just care about Notre Dame in general and just the school and everything. I had no idea going there. When I first went there, I had no idea, but it's everywhere. And that's what makes Notre Dame different, in my opinion.
I had somebody in Quito, Ecuador one time talking Notre Dame football with me. I think that's a pretty damn good example.
Exactly.
How about the hardest that you've ever laughed with Brian Kelly? Is there ever a moment you two just lost it together?
There's a few. In the meeting room sometimes. Oh, my gosh, there's a few. Honestly, I laughed last week on Zoom. We were doing our first Zoom meeting, and he was trying to figure out the mic. It was hilarious. He's like, I hate this Zoom, but it's something we got to get used to. He couldn't get the mic to work. It was like all the SWAT captains together meeting with Coach. It was hilarious. He was funny. He was in a really good mood, trying to stay positive through all this. But I remember just I had to put my thing on mute because I was laughing. It was so funny. He couldn't figure it out, but he's good now.
And those are the stories people never get to hear, but he does have that sense of humor too. Ian Book, team captain, Notre Dame quarterback. Thanks for the time, my friend. Stay safe out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.